I'm sorry, but it's evident. You're on your phone 24/7. No reply when I ticked at 10 past 11. And I swear you only tell me what I wanna hear. The real thoughts buried deep.
Oh, I was muted. Oh my god. Like on my mic specifically. Okay. I was freaking out. I was like, what? My mic is connected though. Huh? Okay. So, hello, my name is Tamashii, and all I gotta say is TamaTalks. I am a grumpy Latina Vtuber who tries to stream 5 times a week. Unfortunately, these past 2 to 3 weeks has not been going towards my favor. But every time I be pushed down, degraded and abandoned, I will do my best to get back up again. That's just the only thing I can do for now. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I try to stream 5 times a week. On one of those days, I do political commentary called TamaTalks, where I speak on social issues that matter to me. I usually do those on Tuesdays, but yesterday I overslept due to reasons that I will later explain as I finish my intro. But yes, on any other day than Tuesday, I do variety streaming and stream whatever the fuck I want, usually, most of the time. And it's usually with friends. So I do a lot of casual people just casually joining my VCs, and or sometimes, very rarely, I do planned collabs, and other than that, I play variety games by myself. That's me. Now, I wanted to do this TamaTalks last week. I was gonna do everything last week and start streaming again last week. But a lot of shit happened that I won't go into. But basically, yeah, a lot of emotional turmoil. Basically, I think the stress of things pertaining to my real life has been affecting me negatively, and it kind of caused me to crash out again in a personal way. I think with what's been going on the news, both in Palestine and then this time in LA, concerning my people, because again, I am Mexican-American, things have been really, really stressful, really, really personal. And it showed up, that stress usually sometimes shows up on my body. Lately, my body has been going against me. And this week, including last week, I've been to the doctors 3 times now for different reasons. Not for the cold. My cough is gone, which is kind of fucking annoys me. Okay, my cough is almost completely gone. But right when my cough leaves me, right? Because I've been coughing for 2 to 3 months at this point. Right when my cough leaves me, another issue happens with my body. But it's okay. Already went to the doctor. The health scare is over, I think. I hope. This has been the 3rd time now that I went to doctors. It's all good. I'm going to take various medications now, and those medications make me super sleepy. It's true. So yesterday, I worked so much, so hard. They keep adding work to my work. It's kind of annoying. And when I got home, I was like, I am going to sleep, and I'm going to sleep so hard. And I know that I might oversleep and miss TamaTalks. So let me just warn everyone about this. And I did. And guess what? My nap ended up being fucking 12 hours long, dude. Oh my God. 12 hours fucking long. Jesus Christ. So, since I missed TamaTalks yesterday at 9 p.m. JST, I decided to start it early at 7 p.m. JST, which is right now. I'm doing a quick rundown of my life because that's usually what I do when I start TamaTalks. I talk about me, then I talk about Palestine, then I talk about some other social issues that matter to me. Now, I started out with 481 followers, and I went down for 482 followers. Sorry, I can't even fucking speak English. 482 followers, and someone saw that I was talking, and I'm gonna be talking about Palestine and the anti-ICE raids, and they unfollowed me. Muhahaha. Actually, I've had more followers like last week, but I guess, you know, people don't like TamaTalks, and people don't like Tama when she's human. So, I mean, fuck you too, I guess. Shit. But anyway, let's get started with it. That is my quick rundown. Let's get into business. So, what I want to talk about pertaining to Palestine is about the Freedom Flotilla that people have, well, not people, about around 12 activists from around the world, mostly from France, the UK, and also Greta Thunberg decided to get on a boat, a Freedom Flotilla, that carried a bunch of aid towards Palestine. The goal was to go to Gaza and deliver the aid and beg, is not real, to open the borders and let aid in to the people of Palestine. And that's what I wanted to talk about. If you follow my Discord, actually, I decided to do like a news channel for whenever I stay updated on issues like these. I've only updated it once, but when I have time, I plan to add more information and stuff. But let's get started, shall we? Let me go and move all of my tabs here. I have so many tabs, Jesus Christ. I can see shit. Let's see. Let's get rid of the TamaTalks logo. Boop. See ya. And then let's go to this other thing and show the truth. Boom. So here we go. Let's get started. And let me pull out my notes here. The news channel is very useful for me because it also contains everything that I wrote out, and it's kind of basically my notes, so we are really good on that. Sorry, I'm just randomly checking the audio for a sec. I don't want it to be too loud. Okay, Yosha. Okay, so Freedom Flotilla. What is that? What am I talking about? Well, it's not only Freedom Flotilla, by the way. It's called the boat itself is called Madleen. Madleen or Madleen? I don't know how to pronounce it. My bad. But the Madleen is a UK flagged civilian ship sailing to Gaza with life-saving aid as a part of the hashtag Freedom Flotilla. The UK has a legal duty to protect its vessel and the civilians aboard from Israeli interference. So, why is this account begging for the UK to protect this boat? Because, literally, Israel is known to attack anything or anyone that tries to help the people of Palestine. That's it. That's the simple truth, okay? There's historical evidence that shows more of Israel doing that than otherwise, okay? So let's just get that clear, and I hope people can understand that. Now, this is just like reminding people of the laws, the international laws that, you know, most countries have to abide to, okay? At least the countries that say that they abide to international laws. But in this case, they're asking for help from the UK, and so the UK must prevent genocide, and doing a shitty job on that, reject Israel's illegal blockade of Gaza. They have been doing a shit job at that. And defend its flagship from unlawful attacks. So yeah, basically, we are hoping that, you know, these people are okay. These people boarding these boats stay safe. They're activists from around the world. Some of them are even lawmakers. And they're asking support from the people. Of course, it says here, support us by taking action. Contact the Foreign Office and your MP. Demand protection for the Madleen and accountability for any aggression. Again, for any aggression that will most likely happen. And then this alert was done when, here we go. You need to see June 7th. Okay, June 7th. And so here's a picture with more clearer information on what I'm talking about and the ship. The Madleen is a UK flagged civilian ship en route to Gaza. Is protected under international maritime law as a vessel flying the British flag. It falls under the jurisdiction and responsibility of the UK government, which has a legal duty to defend Madleen and the civilians on board, and to prevent unlawful interference, including any threat or use by force by foreign powers such as Israel. Now, who exactly is on this boat? And if you're a UK person, please, if you'd like to help, these are the places you can contact: Twitter, Instagram, and their telephone, even their email. So who's on this goddamn boat? God damn it. Well, Greta Thunberg. And if you don't know who this person is, this is a young person. I don't know how old is she. How old is she? She's like 20, right? I've been hearing about this girlie since I was young as well, since I was a kid, okay? How she's a great climate change activist. Then all of a sudden, what happened? Boop! I don't hear much of her in the news anymore. ¿Por qué? ¿Doshte? ¿Por qué? Why? Now, why is that? Well, I think it's because she found out that colonization and discrimination of people who get forcefully pushed out of their homeland actually contributes not even like a lot, but almost 100% to the negative climate change that we as humans are experiencing and will continue to experience as time goes on. So this is from the Middle East Eye. And this is like a little snippet of an interview that Mohammed Washer does on Greta Thunberg. So this is what she says. She says that despite the real risks for her safety, she must make a clear stand against the ongoing genocide in Gaza. She and 11 other activists are currently on board a small vessel headed towards Gaza, hoping to breach the Israeli siege. So I would like to hear what she has to say. Very brave woman right here. It's amazing that she's doing. This is basically her risking her life. And when I heard this happening, I was like, oh my God, I hope they don't kill her. I honestly hope they don't fucking kill her. That was my first thought, because this has been going for almost 2 years now. And the amount of people that Israel has willfully ended lives of is just way too much. I don't even think the numbers given officially. What is it, like 40K thousands? Oh my God, I can't even talk. 40K people have been killed by Israel. I highly doubt it. I think it's more. There's no accurate numbers because Israel keeps killing officials, people with jobs that pertain to, I don't know, stuff important doctors, medical aid workers, stuff like that. It's just a constant thing that they do. But anyways, let's see what Greta. I don't know how to pronounce your name. My bad. But this now social activist, not only a climate change activist, but a social activist who's trying to help the people of Gaza by riding this boat with 12 other activists. So let's hear what she has to say. Let me turn off my background music. Boop. Okay, tell me. Well, I'll check. Let's see if the audio's working.
In the event that there is some kind of interception, all of your lives are at risk. Why have you chosen to do this, you and the 11 others that have joined you?
I mean, we cannot just sit by and allow this to happen. We are watching, all of us on our phones are watching a genocide happening, following decades and decades of systematic oppression, ethnic cleansing, occupation, and we are just human beings very concerned about what's happening and do not accept what is going on. So therefore we have promised ourselves and we have promised the Palestinian people to do everything we can. And if this is something that we can do, for example, for me personally, if I, for example, have a platform or something, then I have to use that. In times of injustice, we all have a responsibility to do something, and we are trying to do that and step up when our governments are failing to step up, and on the contrary, are complicit and are supporting and enabling this genocide to go on.
So yes, she is very correct. Right now, a lot of people don't really take seriously what's going on in Palestine. And in all honesty, not only Palestine, but anything that has happened in the world. But the thing is that that's how it always starts, correct? People don't know, then a group of people start speaking out. A lot of people are moved. They start realizing the true injustices that a certain group is facing, and it inspires people to do what's right. Although I'm really disappointed that nothing has been done to stop the genocide of the Palestinian people. The world can clearly see who the bad guy is now. And for those who don't or who don't know, it's just a sad reality that people either want to be bigoted or refuse to involve themselves in the lives of people who are suffering. Either or. If you do nothing, not at least boycott or speak out for these people, I truly believe that, you are complicit in genocide. Hello Misuhayona. Hello Ethereal. Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining my YouTube chat, and I hope you get to learn something new here. Please read the pin, however, and I hope that you enjoy the show. Hello. But yeah, I think it's really great that Greta here is doing something very brave that not many people do. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you. Now let's go to the next topic point. So what happened after this, right? They ride the boat, among 12 other humanitarian activists took it upon themselves to get on the boat, Madleen. Again, I'm just repeating. They go sail or try to sail to Gaza. What do you think happens? Well, I'm pretty sure the most obvious thing happens. Breaking! Breaking! Israel has illegally arrested the following innocent journalists and activists. Of course, they basically try, go on the boat and kidnap these people and illegally arrest the 12 activists on the boat that were simply trying to bring aid to the Palestinian people. And here is the list of those 12 activists. I hope I can read this correctly. Baptiste André, Reva Viard, Greta Thunberg, Rima Hassan, Suyab Ordu, Sergio Toribio, Mark Van Renes, Tiago Avila, Omar Fayad, Yanis Mabdi, Pascal Maurieras, Yasemin Akar. Hopefully I read that right. If I did not read their names right, my bad. But these people on the boat, again, were trying to give aid to the Palestinian people. They were stopped, of course. Next. So, this is what's very interesting, by the way. Not only interesting, it's just cruel and terrible and ironic, and it's crazy, okay? It's very crazy. The official account, the official Israeli account, okay, after stopping this boat and arresting these people, they mock the people on this boat. Okay? They mock them by writing this: all the passengers of the selfie yacht okay, are safe and unharmed. They were provided with sandwiches and water. The show is over. Okay, dude. Are you kidding me? Hello, Kohim. How are you? Please read the pinned. But can you believe this? What I just read? Can you believe what I just read? The official Israeli account goes, Lamau, guys, we stopped the boat that was trying to give aid to the Palestinian people that we refused to give aid to, by the way. We stopped the boat, and guess what? We did not kill them. Yo! Woo! Yeah! Are you kidding me? Like, what? You want a medal? You want a medal for not killing people? That's just like stupid, right? It doesn't make sense. It's just unbelievably cruel. And they even put like this little fucking video on their account giving water and bread to these activists, which is just, again, unbelievably cruel, because the reason why these people are even on this boat is to give aid to the Palestinian people in Gaza. And so it's just fucking ironic. What are you talking about? You should read the pinned. Here, let me do a exclamation mark. TamaTalks. But I dropped something. But basically every Tuesday, today's not Tuesday, but here, please read that, just a warning. But usually on Tuesdays I speak on political issues, mostly social issues that matter to me and that I feel that people should know about. And I'm currently talking about Palestine. And after talking about Palestine, I'm going to talk about what's going on in LA. The LA raids, ICE raids, and protests that people are going through. Now, the reasons why I'm talking about this is because I feel like there's many VTubers in the internet space that don't care about people like me, people who suffer through real matters and real issues. And instead, you have like very popular VTubers who, you know, end up being shitty people and find success in the VTubing space. And I just don't like that. I want to be different. in a way that is for the better of the people. So on Tuesdays, I do TamaTalks, where I talk about political issues that matter to me. So on these days, this is the only day where I'm not like trying to be goofy and stuff. I mean, I will be goofy sometimes, okay? I cannot contain the goofiness. But at the same time, I do wish for people to just listen and try to take things seriously, because these things are sometimes very personal and very scary, and it really helps when someone listens and tries to learn something new. It can save a life. It really can. So yeah. Oh, I want to listen. This makes me curious. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Feel free to ask any questions, by the way. I will do my best to explain things my own way and in the way that makes sense. But yosha! So basically, let me do a quick recap. These 12 activists were trying to sail to Palestine. Israel stopped them and said, Lamau, we didn't kill them, so give us a medal. And that's kind of not nice. After stopping them from trying to save people and giving them like food and aid and medical stuff, they actually... Oh, I have two of these. They actually ended up arresting them. And so, and I hear, actually, this is evidence. I forgot to read this, by the way. Wow, this is so big, I can barely read that. Go back. Boop. Boop. So if you look at this, Israel actually has always done this thing. It's a funny thing. I don't know. Well, okay, it's not funny, but they do have the tendency to just bomb, destroy, or kill anyone who tries to do the same thing as these people tried to do, as Greta Thunberg from Sweden tried to do, and the other activists who are trying to help people in Palestine. Israel actually has a history of just like bombing boats that have aid to save Palestinian people in Gaza. And here's like an article from, look at this right here, June 8th 2010. What year are we in, guys? I can't even, guys, what year are we in? We're in 2025, guys. I can't do math. Are you telling me that 15 years ago, people were talking about how fucked up it was that Israel attacked a freedom flotilla, meaning a different boat that was also carrying humanitarian aid to Gaza? How it shocked the world? Wow. It's crazy. And it right here, hijacking boats is in international waters and killing passengers. Oh my god, killing passenger, guys, is of course a serious crime. So this time they didn't end up killing these people, thank fucking god. Like, oh my god, thank god they didn't kill them, but they still hijacked the boat. And they still kidnap them. So here is actually an SOS from the people on the boat Madleen, the activists that have been kidnapped by Israeli forces. Greta Thunberg is a Swedish citizen, and this is what she said, asking her country, among other countries, to help her. So let's hear that. All of this is historical evidence, by the way. If you guys are listening to this and hearing about this just now, like for the first time, just know that you're witnessing history. I'm going to turn off my background music. Let's hear what Greta Thunberg has to say.
My name is Greta Thunberg and I am from Sweden. If you say my name is Greta. My name is Vtuber and I am from Sweden. If you see this video, we have been intercepted and kidnapped in international waters by the Israeli occupational forces or forces that support Israel. I urge all my friends, family and comrades to put pressure on the Swedish government to release me and the others as soon as possible.
Okay.
My name is
So obviously this was pre-recorded, but they had to pre-record a lot of things because they knew it's either they get killed or they get kidnapped. And this time they got kidnapped. So she's asking the world leaders, including her own country, to help her and get them out of the situation of being kidnapped by Israeli forces. Okay? So why am I not following this account? That's crazy. Boop. So another activist on that boat is actually Rima Hassan. Had a message. She had a message for the world, okay? And it was a very powerful message. She says, if our boat is intercepted and stopped by Israel, I don't want to hear excuses. Everyone to the streets. We will not turn back. We are continuing on our path. And that's by Rima Hassan, a French Palestinian member of the European Parliament. Okay, she is part of the government. And she said, I'm gonna go over there and try to help my people, try to save my people by giving them aid. Now, why is giving them aid so important? Well, for the past year, ever since forever, but after October 7th, Israel has been blocking aid from entering Palestine. So people are starving. People have no medical aid. They don't have food. They don't have anything. They're slowly starving while also the Israeli military is just having fun bombing whoever the fuck they want. It's terrible. So these activists said, hey, you know what? Maybe all of us should get on the boat and take that aid to Gaza ourselves. And what happened? They got kidnapped and arrested instead. So, give me a sec. Let me make sure. Yosha. Okay. So this is what Madleen, which is the boat's name. The Madleen was a civilian boat carrying food, baby formula, and they were seized, intercepted in international waters, says Francesc Albs. It was illegal. Israel didn't have any reason to stop that or any justification. And I kind of want to hear a little bit of what they're saying. And I'll mute my background music yet again. Sounds nice. Boop, boop.
Of all the stories of solidarity with the Palestinian people, this is the closest to me. I was on the phone with them when they were surrounded by the vessels, then flown over by the quadcopters, and then intercepted and seized. So it's been horrific just to be on the other side of that call. For me, the Madleen has achieved as much as no one else other than the Palestinians, more than we in the UN, more than anyone else in shedding light on what's happening to Gaza for a number of reasons. First of all, because they are individuals who have put their life in the line. It's comfortable to criticize and say, oh, nothing would happen from the comfortable sofa in London. But trust me, whomever has tried to be on the flotilla know that they risk their life. And in fact, 2-3 weeks ago, another flotilla boat was hit by a drone in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, and no one spoke. This is why it was strategic to have Rima Hassan. It was strategic to have Greta Thunberg on board. It was a civilian boat carrying food, baby formula, and they were seized, intercepted in international waters. So it was illegal. Israel didn't have any reason to stop that, any justification, and they say it's against the blockade. For sure it's against the blockade, because it should be against the blockade, because the blockade is illegal.
There we go. Yeah. So I didn't even know that they had destroyed a boat beforehand during that week. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, it was strategic, like this woman said. It was strategic to have someone from the French government be on that boat. It was strategic to have Greta, that's how you say her name, my bad. Greta, I keep saying Greta again. Oh my God. Greta Thunberg to be on that boat because they are, you know, people that are very important to the Swedish country, the Sweden country, Sweden, and also France. If you kill them, you're kind of gonna have an issue. You're definitely gonna be the bad guy from the world's view of you. But unfortunately, yeah, they ended up being arrested, and right now, it seems like Greta, I keep mispronouncing her name. I feel so bad. But it seems like Greta was released. She was forced to sign papers saying that she will never return to Israel again or something like that. But there are still the other activists refuse to sign those papers, actually, and are currently, most likely, they're in jail right now, Israeli jail. Now, again, if you don't know anything of what Israel does to its prisoners, they literally torture anyone in the worst way possible. Hello, Princessa. Thank you for the lurk. And they torture these people in the worst way possible to the point where they leave them with PTSD. They chop off parts of their bodies. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's kind of crazy what they do to people in prisons. And it's sometimes not, most of the people that they put in prisons are innocent. A lot of the people they put in prisons are children. And in this case, the people they put in prisons are freaking activists that are trying to feed Palestinian people who are starving because of Israel. That's not good. Now, why am I taking this so personally? Well, obviously, I feel like I care for people, and I also feel like people should have some sort of like moral compass, some sort of humanity in their heart that makes them feel that they should, you know, try to aim for respect and equality of those who are suffering. But this is where I'm going to transition to the Los Angeles protests that are happening in America. That started happening last week. Or actually like 2 weeks ago. Now, there's been protests in America protesting against the sudden intense ICE raids against illegal immigrants in America, especially in LA and in New York. But in this case, LA. Now, Los Angeles has the biggest population of Latinos. And you can't just send ICE, a fake police basically, who kick out people who they think don't deserve to be in America. You can't just send those people to kidnap a shit ton of people who are Latinos and or other ethnicities, just cause. Okay, you can't just do that. It's kind of crazy, especially at a place where it's like highly densely populated with Latin Americans and Latinos that were born in the United States. And here is where some politicians, if you look at the protests, you will see people waving the Mexican flag. You will see people waving another Latin American flag, and you will see people waving the Palestinian flag, okay? And a lot of politicians don't like that. Not only politicians, a lot of bigoted people who live in America and outside of America don't like that. A lot of racist people don't like that. But here's the funny thing. The same politicians right here, the same politicians that say flying a Mexican flag in LA is cause for deportation, have an office like this. Okay? Look at this. I stand with Israel. Are you kidding me? But my people are in the wrong for trying to defend their own people from being kidnapped by these crazy police guys. Huh? But this guy is supporting a country who has kidnapped a group of activists who are trying to feed Palestinian people. A boat that had baby formula. Like, can you see who the bad guy is here? You know? So, here's a tweet that I found that I really enjoyed reading. It says, the same... my bad. The same forces kidnapping Greta and her comrades are ripping families apart in LA and New York. But they want you to believe that torching a Gestapo car or an IOF tank is more violent than spilling our people's blood or leaving them to die in concrete cages. That's right. That's right. Now, here is what the sad thing is. Last week, I was just super stressed about this because I started seeing the news of like how everyone in LA, like, listen, I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican American. This hits hard in my heart, okay? It's personal. It's very deep. And that's why when I first started hearing about what was happening in Palestine, for me that was very personal. For me that was very deep. Because to a certain extent, I can understand that pain of not being able to go to your rightful homeland and or being ripped away from your rightful homeland. It's not fair. And the people who control that are the people who you know, is the government taking advantage of your people, colonizing your people, and abusing your people. And that's what this tweet is saying. It's like the same people who kidnapped Greta and all those other activists are the same people who are ripping families apart in LA and New York. And the media is going to show you pictures and tell you that the protesters are violent, that the Mexicans are violent, that they're trying to take over the country, that they're evil, they're criminals, they R-word woman, you know, stuff like that. Look at them destroying this car. And that's what they do in Israel as well. They go, the Palestinian people are evil. Look at them. Look at them destroying our tanks. Look at them retaliating against us when we decide to kill their family members. They're the savages. They're the evil people. It's all the same. It's the same pain. Obviously, though, the Palestinian people right now are suffering the most as of right now, in my professional opinion. And it sucks, and we need to talk about it. More people need to talk about it. We can't just like turn a blind eye, because that's what the government wants. They want you to turn a blind eye and not care about these poor people who need your help. And the best way to help these people is to boycott, to not buy products from companies that give money to the Israeli government to kill children, to kidnap them, to not allow food into Gaza, and or donating to Palestinian nonprofit charities. For example, we managed to reach my goal. Thank you to my community who was able to help me fulfill a third goal, by the way. This is the third time I've been able to fulfill my Palestinian charity goals. This is the third time. And we've managed to, I don't know, wait, what the heck? It's not showing in my little heart on screen, but I'm sure if you look in chat, let me see. If you look in chat, yeah, we've raised $350 out of $333 for the PCRF, the Palestine Children Relief Fund, that provides medical aid to Palestinian children in Palestine. Donating to trusted charities, stuff like that. Educating yourself, teaching other people about what's going on. And to more extremes, you can go out and protest. You can go and call out your legal representatives to stop what's going on to these poor people. That's how you can help. But the easiest way to help is to boycott. Now let's see. I wanted to watch this video about how the 1968 student protest fueled a Chicano rights movement, okay? I want people to understand that there was a lot of civil rights movements in America, of course, especially the Black civil rights movement. Everyone knows of that. But I kind of want to look at this 11-minute video showcasing the Chicano rights movement in America. Because this will relate even more to the people that are currently suffering in America, that are of Latino descent or Chicanos. So let's watch this. Let me turn off the music. Hopefully I don't get copyright strike for this. It literally says Retro Report is an independent non-profit news organization. So since it's independent, I hope they are nice enough to let me react to it and show you guys that what it's about. But here, I'm still gonna put the link here in the description, not in the description, in chat, if you guys are ever interested in watching it again. But no, I know you say that I'm gonna be fine, but there has been instances where there's specific famous news outlets that don't let you react, at least live react on stream to their news reports. So I have to be really careful what like news reporter thingy I choose. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Usually if I do end up like getting a copyright strike, YouTube lets me just clip out whatever I was reacting to and then upload it later. So hopefully everything ends up well. But let's watch this. What is this? 11 minutes? 11-minute video of the Chicano rights movement. Oh my God. There's a 90-second ad break. Well, that was perfectly timed. Let me put music on. I'll wait till the ad is done. But for now, I think we should take a water break. Let's drink some water, y'all. Now, this is not water. This is actually... Ugh. You hear that? Boop, 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 boop. This is actually soda orange juice. Carbonated orange juice. I wish I just gotten normal orange juice. That's not good for the throat. Drink water. Gin? No, not gin. Yes, I am drinking gin on a Wednesday night. Where is water though? I swear I had water. I swear I had water, dude. Da, 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 da. Should we take a pee break? Let's go damn. Oh, the ad break is finishing now. Okay, as I was about to go pee. Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's watch this. Boop. Let's see. This is the 1968 student protest fueled a Chicano rights movement by Retro Report. Boop.
If we had to take to the streets and claim our rights...
Let me make sure we can see the CC. Oh, there's captions. Let's go.
...to equality in our schools, then so be it. I went to Garfield High School. My first semester was 1967. The schools on the east side were known as the Mexican schools. If we spoke Spanish, there was corporal punishment. And
now here's the thing about that. She said if we spoke Spanish, there was corporal punishment. Now, for me, this is where I was raised from. Was pretty weird, by the way. I would get, to a certain extent, at some point of my elementary school childhood life. I think it was until I was either 9 years old, where I was forcefully told and not allowed to speak Spanish anymore. That happened to me. I wasn't punished physically or anything, but I would get yelled at and I would get told that if I spoke Spanish in an English class, I'd get in trouble. And it was very, very confusing to me because from first grade to third grade, in elementary school, I was being taught everything in Spanish and in English at the same time. So I was learning how to read and write in Spanish. And also, slowly but surely, I was also learning how to read and write in English. Why? Because I was born in America. And in my area, there was a lot of Mexican Latino kids. Okay? That makes sense. And I was capable of doing both. But once I got into fourth grade, it's like they had a whole switch up. No more Spanish, no more writing in Spanish, no more reading in Spanish, English, 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 and English. And if you did anything other than English, you were punished. And here's the crazier thing. They would separate the Mexican kids from the white kids. So it wasn't like a class together. It was literally segregation. It was just the Mexican kids studied with the Mexican kids and the white kids studied with the white kids. The white kids only learned English and the Mexican kids learned both English and Spanish. Now, what was even more funnier than that, I like how you go, racism? I guess it was, but when I was a kid, I did understand, and I understood that it was racism. You know why? Because at some point, I remember that all the white kids, I would walk past the computer room. The computer room was, you know what it is, basically a room filled with computers. And all the white kids would always learn how to type at the computer room and would use the computer room whenever they wanted to. And so I remember asking some teacher, I don't know who the fuck I asked. I was like, well, when do we get to learn how to use the computers, teacher? And then they're like, I don't think you'll ever learn how to use a computer, Tama. Be for real. You're Mexican. They honestly, all of our teachers expected the Mexican kids to fail school, to just to either fail school, get pregnant, become a criminal, or work in a low-paying job that no one wanted to work at, which that job that most Latinos in the United States of America, the most popular jobs that they do is to work out in the fields, work picking apples, picking asparagus, picking all the food, planting the food, growing the food. That is what the Latinos are known for working in America. For the longest time, I thought that Latinos, in terms of working in the fields, were the modern day slaves, because we get put on that job and it's a very hard job. And a lot of those people who work those jobs are illegal immigrants, people who have no rights, people who are not American, people who went to a country just to find a better life and to get good pay. But in return for that, they get abused, they don't get protections, they don't get health care, and they still pay taxes, but they get nothing for it. They get nothing for it. It's crazy. And so, as you can see, that's been my entire life. Ever since I was a kid. That's the life that I lived. That's unfair for real. No, yeah. And let me tell you something, Kohim. For the longest time, I thought that was normal. I was like, well, that's normal, Lamau. No, it was until I read a book. It was until I read a historical book. It was actually until I saw a picture of Vietnam, of what America did to those poor people in Vietnam, where I realized, oh my God, I think America's the bad guy. Yo, what the fuck? And I started learning more about history and stuff. And then I started connecting that history to my experiences in modern day. And yeah, now America keeps getting away with shit like that, correct? America keeps getting away with stuff like that. And now it has resulted in a genocide and many other genocides that we aren't even focusing on right now, but especially the genocide of Palestine. That's where racism, that is secret racism, ends up turning into a racism where you just get to kill a bunch of people in different foreign countries. Why? Because they're Muslim. Why? Because they're brown. Why? Because they lie about those countries and try to say that they're terrorists. And in the end, America ends up turning like a terrorist. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, going back to this video, hearing that lady say that she wasn't allowed to speak Spanish in class in America surprises me. That was because that happened to me too. And again, when was this? This was like 1968, right? 1968. When I was a kid, that was still happening. Isn't that crazy? Segregation was still a thing. Even now in modern day, that's crazy. I guess so too. I mean, America also take over Philippines once. Oh, no, yeah. You know, America did such shit things to Southeast Asia. I ended up taking a class on Southeast Asia. And honestly, Southeast Asia had it good. They had, like, how great it was until like the French came in, until the US, you know, obviously America came in, the British came in, all those motherfuckers came in and they ruined everything. It's fucked up. We can't let them keep doing that to other people. It's fucked up. No, when I read history, when I was reading Southeast Asia history, where I was like, yeah, fuck these fucking Western people. What? Huh? These fuckers keep ruining countries. It's not fair. It's not fair. And I can say that because I'm American. So listen, this is a safe space for people whose countries have suffered from American imperialism or other Western countries' imperialism. But I'm getting a little off rail here. Let's continue this video. Kind of crazy. This lady wasn't allowed to speak Spanish.
And the lesson there was, we want you to assimilate.
The teachers didn't really understand who we were. You know, they would make fun of our names when they would do a roll call. Most of us were just kind of going through like a herd. And if we dropped out, they didn't care.
Mexican Americans have one of the highest dropout rates in the city of Los Angeles. We were not considered to be intelligent enough to be able to go to college.
The education that we all got was aimed at turning us into workers, manual labor, tradesmen.
Girls were told, well, you know, we don't want to waste our time on you. You know, you're just going to get pregnant.
A group of high school students, recent graduates, and activists came together to advocate for better schools. They were encouraged by Sal Castro, one of the few teachers who was critical of how schools treated Mexican-American students.
Most teachers approach the Mexican with a negative attitude and that you have nothing to give to me. I am going to make you an Anglo come hell or high water.
Sal Castro was a teacher at Lincoln High School, and he wanted his students to know that it was great to be a Mexican, that our culture and history was important, and that we had huge contributions that we had made. And so I got that from him.
We deserve a good education. We deserve something that's positive because we are citizens of this country. The civil rights struggle was all black and white, you know, and we were left out of the picture. And so we had to establish our identity, and we did it by calling ourselves Chicanos.
Being Chicana was a self-identity that meant we were here for change, and we want it.
We drew up a list of our demands and our grievances to take them to the Board of Education. We left it with them and waited, and nothing was done.
And then Sal just told it like it was. He convinced us nothing's going to happen until it hits the press.
We needed to become activists, take it to a different level. We want to be heard. We want our voice to be heard.
What was going on in the world in terms of protest against the Vietnam War and the African-American civil rights struggle, all of these things were surrounding us. And so it was a very simple step to say, we need to strike. And as high school kids, it sounded a lot cooler to say to blow out. So we need to blow out. We need to walk out.
We parked the car and ran right up the main gate into Lincoln High School, the main building, and started yelling, walk out, 10 o'clock, yelling, walk out, walk out, walk out, and banging on the lockers.
10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and nothing was happening. It seemed like an eternity, and we didn't know if anything was going to happen. But then the doors started opening, and hundreds, and ultimately over 1,000 kids streamed out of Lincoln High School.
Around the same time, other schools began to walk out.
I ran across the street, saw a street cone, jumped on top of the car, and started yelling, walk out through the cone.
It was exhilarating. It was an extraordinary, empowering moment to see our community stand up.
We are not dirty Mexicans. That's crazy. Because like, well, even today, to this day, they still call us that. To this day, they still call us that. Hi, Zachy. How are ya? Please read the pinned, by the way. And I hope you enjoy the show. What, making fun of names? I don't want to study on that school. Well, yeah, and that's why a lot of people ended up walking out to prove the point. It's like, hey, no, we're human. You don't have to just, expect us to fail and also only train us to work the dirty jobs that no one wants to do. Like, these Mexicans or other Latinos, other Chicanos have the right to be who they want to be in the United States of America. And so these high schoolers, it's kind of crazy. It's always the young people starting these protests and civil rights movements. Historically, it's always been young people. And it's just really sad that to this day, a lot of like boomers condemn the young people. They say, they're just high schoolers. They're just dumb people who don't have jobs, yada, yada. No. Because of these people, a lot of rights ended up happening, Let's continue the video, though.
As the protests spread, at some schools, students were met by the police.
There's a famous photograph of their backs as they were approaching. I was on the other side.
The police, with batons, rushed in and bloodied kids, beat them up. Kids trying to climb fences to escape and being pulled down and then bludgeoned.
The next week, Mita Quaron says she was arrested and dragged out of the school principal's office.
What little airway that I had because they had the baton, I said, as they dragged us, look at what they're doing to us. Look at what they're doing to us over and over again.
Quickly spread throughout the community that this was going on, that the police were brutalizing us. And the next day, the clergy was there, and the union leaders were there, and our parents were there, and they joined us.
The parents were the ones who should have been at the helm, not us.
Why isn't he there sitting down with us? He's our principal from our school, and he's not even there sitting down.
As a 15-year-old, was I prepared for that? No. But we're not getting an education. We're not getting justice.
The walkouts lasted for more than a week, growing to about 15,000 students.
We're tired of talking. Talking is not getting us anywhere. We want some action, sir. Really. No, we're going to be united, and we're going to fight for what we're going to get. That's it.
The students were persuaded to go back to school, and eventually the board agreed to a few of their demands, including more bilingual teachers and administrators. But nearly 3 months later,
there's a knock on the door, bang, bang, bang. So I went to the front door, opened the front door, and all these cops, bang, they rushed into my apartment, threw me on the ground.
And they told me that I was under arrest.
What?
I asked for what? They wouldn't tell me. And the next thing I knew, I was in handcuffs, being thrown into the back of a car.
13 of the walkout organizers, including Sal Castro, were charged with conspiracy to disrupt the schools and faced decades in prison.
Wow.
I remember when they were indicted and being in shock. We never had the concept that we were breaking the law, asking for better schools, asking to have college counselors that promoted us, asking for less corporal punishment. How is that breaking the law?
What happened is that the LAPD sent undercover police to infiltrate and spy on organizations, the Black Liberation Movement, the Chicano movement.
While they were awaiting trial, Castro was removed from his teaching job.
Wow.
Leading to more protests at the school board.
We decided to occupy the school board. And we were there for weeks.
Eventually, there was a motion to reinstate Sal Castro. I was there and Sal was there. Everybody spoke in favor of reinstating him.
we have come once again to ask you to do what is the just thing to do, to bring Sal Castro back to his classroom.
Roll call, please. And I still remember this glorious moment where the school board votes to reinstate him. And the Brown Berets picked him up on their shoulders and carried him out of the school board. It's an amazing image that I have in my memory.
I just hope that now we can get down to the real issue.
What are those issues?
The real issue is the education of the Mexican kid.
Castro returned to teaching, and the most serious charges against the LA-13 were later dismissed as a violation of the First Amendment. It was one of the first important moments in a new movement for Chicano rights.
This is the first time the young Chicanos took to the streets to demand equality and justice, and we made history. There were walkouts in Denver, Colorado, Albuquerque, and Texas. So the walkouts helped to generate growing national Chicano power movement that included the struggle for the land, the struggle against the war, the struggle against police brutality, the struggle for political power.
In the years since the walkouts, Mexican Americans have made broad gains in political representation. School dropout rates are down, and more Chicano students are going to college.
There are now senators, movie stars, billionaires, entrepreneurs, engineers, doctors. Vicky Castro became elected to the school board and became chairperson.
My whole K through 12, I never saw anyone in authority that looked like my parents or myself. That has completely changed.
But many of the walkout organizers say the inequality and stereotypes they confronted are still relevant 55 years later.
The school board started reforms that are still continuing to this day. They're not done. There's still a disparity in education for Mexican American students and other students of color. There is still a huge underrepresentation in college. There's still a lot of inequality. But there is also a tremendous change, and that started when those students stood up and walked out of school in 1968.
Wow. See, even I didn't know that because a lot of my own history, both in America and from my native country that I wasn't born in, wasn't taught to me, unfortunately. So as I learn with you, I'm also amazed. It's crazy. You don't join on some protests? No, I do. Actually, I think the first protest I ever joined was with my dad. I remember this very clearly. I was probably like, what? I don't know, like 6 years old. And I remember holding my dad's hand and walking out in protest, singing, chanting, El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. And that was me. Of course, as a child, I never understood. I didn't really fully understand what I was protesting for. But I knew that people like me and people like my dad weren't being treated equally. Because as a child, even I wasn't treated equally. And I remember holding my dad and walking with him, trying to advocate for equality. Many years later, I end up joining the Black Lives Matter movement protests as well. I saw the reality of police brutality. And then years later again, I'm here in Japan and I join the pro-Palestinian protests here in Japan. And I see the reality of the Israeli abuse. Because we have foreigners from Israel who start harassing us when we say don't kill children. So yeah, it's important to go and protest and to fight for what's right and to demand our leaders to treat us better, basically. So, yes, I do think that protesting is important, especially after watching this 10-minute documentary. And it's really sad. It's really sad because stuff like this is still happening. The form of inequality that's happening right now is that on around, what was it, June 7th? Around that week on June 7th. This is June 11th. Massive deportation raids began in LA and other parts of the United States, especially though in Los Angeles. Okay. This racist person here says, man cries as his illegal wife is rounded up by ICE. Let's be honest. If he loved her, he would have made sure she was legal. See, it's not an easy process to be a legal citizen in America. And actually, the people who have an easier time becoming legal citizens in America are people who are only from Western countries, okay? When it comes to people that are darker, it takes fucking years, okay? Many years for someone to even become a green card holder, a resident, let alone a citizen of the United States. And unfortunately, this American, his wife, was detained by ICE and forcefully sent back to wherever she's from, and separating families. Now, this person here who has a human heart says, if you can hear that little kid almost puking from crying like this and still have this reaction that this crazy lady right here, who has no joy, by the way, her name is Mila Joy, has no joy. I'm sorry, but you have to D-word. I'm not going to read that, but that's an opinion, and I can see why they would say that. Okay? This man is saying goodbye to his wife. Because sometimes once you get deported, the likelihood of you being able to go back to America is almost zero. To see your human family again.
Están mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo que dependen de nosotros.
I have 6 daughters.
¿Y por qué se la están llevando?
And why are they taking her away?
Tumbaron el caso, según. Es lo que están haciendo ahorita, por eso no venga nadie. No vengan porque se los van a llevar a todos.
So he was, I see. So he was trying to legalize her, actually, so she could live legally in America. And, well, when they went to go finalize the legal papers, they said, no, we will not make your wife a legal citizen of America, despite you wasting so much money and invest so much money in this process. Actually, no, we will not do that. We're going to kidnap your wife and send her back to the States. So he's telling the people, to the camera, he says, don't come here because they will take them away from you. Don't try to do things legally, because even when you do, they're going to take your wife. They're going to snatch the mother of 6 daughters away from you, despite you doing everything right.
Están ahí arriba muchos de migración esperando que les tumben el caso para llevárselos.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Eduardo Duarte.
¿Y ella cómo se llama?
Luz del Carmen Herrera.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Me puedes decir qué pasó?
Le desestimaron el caso y se la van a llevar.
Yep, they rejected her case and now they're taking her. And the kids are trying, look at this. The kids are trying to stop these fuckers from deporting their mom. That's her daughter. Just having to deal with the fact that she probably won't see her mom again. He's telling her to calm down.
Hey. Okay, un momento.
Basically, they're going into shock. And well, stuff like this always happens in America. It's a normal thing in America. And it's something that I'm used to. And it's something that I see every day, and it's something that has traumatized me. Definitely. Sorry, I just read a really funny comment on my YouTube comments. Let's see what it says. VTubers are low-key predators. I mean, yeah, like if you're talking about what's that? What was that chick that recently apparently recently some dude used her as an excuse to try to do a mass shooting? Like, what was her name again? You know them, Turn. I'm sure you do. Peepa, pee pee poo poo, something like that. Some VTubers are predators for real. Like that one who was memorialized by the mass shooter recently that tried to do a mass shooting. You're right. I totally agree. Thank you, YouTube commenter, for being a fucking weirdo. The boy is trying his best to be a tough man. I respect him. Yeah. Yeah. So Mexicans don't deserve a good life? Apparently. Yeah. That's what America says. But that's what happens, right? So
these are
this is a reporter on the scene. This is actually the Japanese translation, because Japan is also keeping up with this, by the way. A lot of my Japanese coworkers ask me all the time, like, Tama, how are you dealing with all of this bullshit that Trump is making you and your people go through? And I always tell them the truth. I'm like, hey, I side with the protesters, and this is my experience. And you know what? It's not only Trump. It was also the Biden administration that allowed stuff like this to happen. So this person, this Japanese person, is translated everything that's happening in LA. So I'm just gonna leave that up there for a bit as I drink my weird ass orange juice. But so this is what's happening in LA. Oh my god, never mind, I'm not doing that, my bad. Okay, boop.
Protests converging at the same time here. I want to show you this one that's coming from the Metropolitan Detention Center, which is the jail that is run by the federal government, or the county and the federal government downtown LA. It's converging with this protest. It's coming over here. Scott Killian, why don't you walk with me? Chris, what happened here today in Los Angeles, I think, is the worst nightmare for so many people who live here. You know, Los Angeles is a largely so-called minority-majority city. There are just as many people of color here as there are white people. And in fact...
Oh! My bad. Sorry, y'all.
Come with me, which is one of the largest counties, the largest by population in the United States, is undocumented. There could be as many as...
Sorry, my bad. I did not mean to do that.
What happened here today in Los Angeles, I think, is the worst nightmare for so many people who live here. You know, Los Angeles is a largely so-called minority-majority city. There are just as many people of color here as there are white people. And in fact, 10% of the population of Los Angeles County, come with me, which is one of the largest counties, the largest by population in the United States, is undocumented. There could be as many as 1 million undocumented people who live here in Los Angeles. And what you saw today, and what all of these people are protesting, is large-scale immigration enforcement raids. What you're looking at on the left-hand side of your screen is this protest from the sky. The helicopters are directly above me. You saw, I'm sorry for the noise, but you saw tactical officers on things like Bearcat vehicles, flashbang grenades on the city streets of Los Angeles, which largely felt like, as some people described in local media, that the military was on the streets of Los Angeles. Historically, the Los Angeles Police Department does not cooperate with immigration enforcement efforts. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department does not cooperate with immigration enforcement efforts. But when you have got ICE in Los Angeles showing up reportedly at Home Depot, where many undocumented people go to get work as day laborers, you know the National Day Laborer Organizing Network well. Many of those people responded in the wake of the fires here in Los Angeles. When you've got ICE showing up outside of places like schools, it quite literally is striking fear into the heart of people all throughout this community. And it is, I think it's fair to say, the worst fear of so many people here who live in Los Angeles and who have heard President Trump threaten that they would do this. But when this day comes on a Friday morning that stretches into a Friday afternoon, people in Los Angeles are mobilizing and they are very upset.
So yeah, that's basically what's happening in LA. Hello, COD. Please read the pinned. This will be a serious stream. I know it's a Wednesday, but I ended up missing Tuesday TamaTalks. So yeah, just read the pin for me, and no goofy redeems for today. My bad. But yeah, that's what's happening in LA. A bunch of ICE raids, immigration raids. Basically, the video that you saw earlier of those officers forcefully taking that mother away, despite her husband, and her family trying to legalize her into becoming either a resident or a citizen of the United States of America. They rejected that to her, and then they removed her from her family. And a bunch of that started happening in LA in large amounts of people. They would go to Home Depot, just kidnap people. They would go to schools, kidnap mothers and fathers. They would go to work, kidnap people. They started kidnapping everyone, everywhere. And because of that, okay, because they were kidnapping everyone and everywhere, it was going around town, okay, that there was HSI and ICE raids happening in downtown Los Angeles, okay? It was happening in Los Angeles, and they were saying right now they've locked the doors and are holding employees inside. And so as this was happening, a lot of people on the internet were warning everyone, like, guys, these fucking people are kidnapping. They're kidnapping people. And this started, it seems like it started around June 7th. And that's where things started escalating. And I'm just showing this as evidence. Because of that, there was an emergency protest call for people in LA. And it says right here, this is way too zoomed in. Jesus Christ, I can't even read. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. It says, ICE has hundreds of members of our community kidnapped and is holding them at this location. So a bunch of people got together. They read this. Oh, and this is June 6th. They read this and they said, we have to fucking take back our people. Take back our dads, our grandparents, my grandma, my grandmother, my mom, my sister, my brother, my neighbor, our workers. We gotta go save them. Like, literally, apparently they just started taking everyone randomly. So people start protesting, of course. And of course, what is the media, the American media, or even any media around the world, what are they going to say about this? Well, this is what they're gonna say. They're gonna say that the protesters are the ones being violent. Okay? It's not the police. Oh, the poor police. Oh, poor them. Oh, boo-hoo. How dare these brown people? How dare these Mexicans? How dare these too woke people go protest? How dare they? They're violent. Look, they burnt down that cop car. They're evil. But when in reality, most of these protests start out peaceful. It's always peaceful. Okay, it's always fucking peaceful. I've been to like at least I've been to a protest when I was a kid. I've been to a protest. I've been to the Black Lives Matter protests. And I've been to the protests, pro-Palestinian protests here in Japan. They always start out peaceful until the motherfucker cops go and try to beat the shit out of you, okay? Now, here's evidence of that, by the way. This is not what the media tries to show you. And if they do show you, they normalize it. Like, oh, yo, the cop had to do that. What do you mean the cop had to do that? Look at this. How is this acceptable? Now, let's look at this video, okay? Here's your LAPD when they think no one is looking. Look at what they're doing to this poor guy, by the way.
The LAPD
you see this?
Focused on its core mission.
That's a protester.
Lives, safeguard constitutional rights, and serve every neighborhood.
And they got caught.
Los Angeles with integrity.
They got caught stepping on this guy with their horses, beating him up with sticks, threatening him and yelling at him, then manhandling him. Look at that. Who is the peaceful one here? Who's the one inciting violence? It's the goddamn cops, by the way.
What basis they used to make that decision, but if that was...
And then the fucking news reporter goes, I don't know why they're doing that, Lamau. That guy wasn't even doing anything. He had his hands up the entire time. Okay, there can't be self-defense against the cops who have like these big ass horses, who have the fucking vests on, who have gear on, who have weapons on. And they're gonna be crying and whining about the little rock, by the way, when someone gets pissed off when you're using a horse to step on their fucking skull. Like, come on. Let's be for real here. So, here's a poster that I really liked. It says, they blame immigrants, so you won't blame the billionaires, made by this person during the protests. And it's a very true, poster. It's like people will rather make you focus on the immigrants. They would rather make you focus on these quote unquote violent protesters. But you know who they don't want you to focus on is the fucking billionaires paying these people to do bad things, paying the ones in charge to demonize people like me. Here is a witness during the whole riots that was peaceful. A peaceful person describing his experience with ICE and how exactly, like, showing how these people were being kidnapped by ICE. So right here, Justin, an American, by the way, an American man whose girlfriend was arrested by ICE, just gave a chilling on-camera account outside the detention facility that she was in. And it says, they wanted people to start burning out because this is the effect. So they can make us look bad. So they can make us seem that we're the ones causing this, that we started it. We didn't start this. So this is him explaining what happened to his girlfriend when she got kidnapped.
We get off and we see everybody else getting off to record. Peacefully, we do not throw anything at them. We're not yelling at them. We're just recording what's going on because people deserve to know the truth. This is why you guys are here. This is because, you know, these things need to be documented. This is what they wanted. They wanted people to riot. They wanted the people to start fireworks. They wanted the people to start burning out. Why? Because this is the effect. So they can make us look bad. So they can make us seem that we're the ones causing this, that we started it. We didn't start this.
So you jump out of your car and you start recording. So what happens from there? Tell me what happens with your girlfriend.
As soon as we start recording, that's when they start pointing the tear gas guns and they start shooting everything. Everything, everywhere. So we can't breathe, we can't see anything. She has her phone. One of the agents, I hear them go for the people with the phones. They went straight for my girlfriend. They ripped her out of my arms. They took her. They threw me. They threw me her phone.
And so what do you and your girlfriend do at that point?
We get off.
So they took his girlfriend, they captured her, and they even targeted the people who were recording what was happening. These people, the LAPD, the guys with the weapons, the cops, they're having a little bit too much fun, and they have always had way too much fun. And they're finally being recorded, by the way, of them being shit people, how they treat others. But this is an Australian news reporter on the scene of the protests, you know, reporting on what's happening in LA. And look at what the LAPD does to her, by the way. Look at what they do to her.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
You just shut the fuck up.
You okay? I'm good.
And the protesters are the one going towards her and asking her if she's okay. Did you see it? Did you guys see it? Did you guys see that cop literally point at her and shoot her? A news reporter, by the way. Let's see. You see him, right? He's standing there. He's looking at her. Right there. Oh, you can't see my mouse. He's standing, looking at her. He's like, oh, there you go. You see him. You see him aim at her. You see that? Let me move slower. Let's go back. Let's take it slow, baby. Look at that. He notices her. Wham! Wham! Points at her. Boom! Hits her. Let's see that one more time.
Moving them on through the heart of LA.
You just shut the fuck up.
You okay? I'm good.
Okay.
That's how they treat people. And that's how they've always treated people. But they're gonna say that we're the bad guys. They're gonna say that the protesters are the bad guys, okay? Now, I'm going to recommend y'all this video by Hassan, explaining everything accurately of what happened in LA. So if you guys can watch that by yourself or subscribe to his channel, it's very very educational. But TamaTalks is supposed to end at 9 p.m. and I'm gonna end stream and take an hour break, and then I'm gonna start stream again to do variety game night. And I'm gonna play a variety of games. So we won't be watching Hassan or reacting to Hassan. Maybe next time. But if not, you guys can watch that video on your own. But the reason why I want you to watch Hassan on this is because he's actually he's out there. He's in the protests. He's out there with the people protesting against these deportations, against this dehumanization of the Latino people in America. And this is actually Hassan tweeting that says, People who freak out about retaliation to cops at these rallies need to attend one protest, just one protest, okay? They need to attend one protest, and they'll quickly realize that the agitators are the armed dudes in riot gear, tear gassing thousands of unarmed taxpayers who are paying for the chemicals as well as their salaries and pensions. This is Hassan right here in the LA protests, standing with the people who are suffering, okay? Now, this is what's crazy about this, is that Hassan has, in this video, hey, Yankee, hey, I don't know, yank these nuts in your mouth, bitch. Now, here's the thing about the word Yankee, guys. It's basically, I guess I'm assuming they're either Latino or not. But I mean, I know Yankees used as a negative way to refer to people who are from the States that are of like Latino descent. But are not seen as Latinos because they were born in America. And oddly enough, it's like the Latin Americans that end up hating the Latino Americans that were born in America, and so they end up calling them Yankees. It's usually not a good thing when you call someone who's a minority from somewhere a Yankee. It's just like a normal thing. But right now I'm reading YouTube chat, and I mean YouTube chat is always filled with weirdos, so it's okay. Well, it's not okay, but Lamau. Anyway, Hassan here is in the protest, walking with the people and trying their best to I'm calling general Americans Yankees. Okay, well, I'm not a general American, so I'm gonna take it like how I'm gonna take it. Like, are you lumping me with like the white peoples? Are you including me, a Mexican American, in that? Because I mean, usually Latinos would call me that, by the way. It's very complicated, chat. It's like Latino against Latinos. A lot of Latinos from Latin America itself, like Mexico or whatever the fuck, actually hate Latinos from like America, as in the US of states, because they think of them as traitors and stuff. But most of those people are weirdos. Like, they're not real, you know? Right now, a lot of the people, like, for example, my family, most of my family members are like from Mexico themselves, and they don't hate me, so I don't see it. No, it's like the word describing the people living there, so you're just saying it in general. So you hate Americans. That is okay. Let me just say that this is a safe space to diss like people from the United States. As someone who's an American, I enjoy shitting on Americans. They deserve it. It's true. But I ain't no Yankee. I refuse that word against me. Anyway, Hassan in LA almost gets hit by a fucking what is this? A tear gas thing.
I think they're gonna push in from this side of the road. That fucked my hair up.
This idiot ends up laughing hysterically instead, right? But he almost got hit. He goes, anyway, but he almost got hit by a fucking tear gas can. And you can see it. And actually, there's another video here. I wonder if I can find it. Hassan tends to like retweet stuff like that he's been on. Oh God, a lot of news has been happening that I need to keep up. Kaya is a queen. She's a beautiful queen. We love her. Here's Hassan like going, around. Oh, even this hot guy is in the LA protests. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even know. This guy's a TikToker. I just know him as the hot guy who interviews people and interviews girlies and guys into being very attracted to him. I didn't know he was like in LA doing this as well. That's kind of crazy. That's pretty cool. Communist attacks New Yorkers, not about stop. Okay. They actually almost got hit by a rubber bullet. It's kind of crazy. They even did like a slow motion of it. But again, this was June 15th, so this was 2 days ago. Oh my god, I keep making this big, even though I know I can't make it big. But here, Hassan captures a rubber bullet flying past his head and grazing a protester. Fired at head level with enough speed to seriously injure or kill. Cops using less than lethal rubber bullets at head level is not just reckless, it's deadly. People have died from this. And I was like, really? I don't see it. But then they did a slow motion of this video and I was like, oh shit. Oh my god. Let me see. Play.
Don't run! Thank you. They're starting to, no, they're just flashbangs. They haven't thrown anything gas yet, but they'll start throwing. Oh, shit. Are you good?
Did you see it?
Are you good?
Right there. There's the rubber bullet. That guy's lucky it didn't headshot him. Cause that shit goes hella fast. That can give you such a huge concussion, even break your skull, possibly even fucking kill you. And they're chill as fuck, okay? They're chill, and these fucking cops are just because they have quote unquote non-lethal weapons, they think it's okay to attack people like that. Okay? You know what's also considered a non-lethal? Tasers. You think it's cool to just tase someone just cause they're practicing their goddamn freedom of speech? I don't think so.
Oh shit! Are you good?
They're just shooting at people randomly. And again, I really recommend watching Hassan Abi. I sometimes watch him live. If you can't watch him live, you should subscribe to his official YouTube. And yeah, this is him reacting to, again, a sad reality that that explains precisely why these protests are happening in LA and around America.
His family Sunday morning when he was apprehended.
I promised him that I'll take care of my brothers and my mom, so he won't have to worry about anything.
Vasquez was in...
Yes, Tamashii is correct. For those of you who don't understand, this is why people are protesting. This is who people are protesting for. Okay, this is why I'm out in the fucking streets too. And this is why you should be out in the fucking streets as well.
That's right.
These are unimaginably cruel, unimaginably violent acts. These are the types of people that literally give so much to their communities and get nothing in return. And the way we decide to repay them is by fucking their lives up. Just kidnapping them at their place of business while calling them fucking rapist criminals, dude. It is...
Vasquez was at Culver City Car...
It's stupid. This guy was just working and they took him. And the audacity of this motherfucking bitch, okay, Kamala Harris going, My statement on what's unfolding in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is my home. And like so many Americans, I am appalled at what we're witnessing on the streets of our city. Are you Listen, many people who don't have our heads up our asses know that the Biden administration and Kamala Harris alike demonized fucking immigrants all so they could get the right-wing vote, and it failed and they lost. Okay, and this person's calling out the bullshit. You paraded ICE agents around at your events, said you'd be more strict on immigration than Trump, and told immigrants not to come. Do not come. Do not come. That's her thing. Pipe the fuck down with your, how do you even pronounce that? Your fake concern. And I think I'd like to end it with this, I gotta go now. Thanks for 2 hours of stream and a little sneak peek of what's happening on not on Mexican, but in the United States, with Mexicans. But I'm also gonna end stream soon. Oh my god, I'm 2 minutes late on ending stream, but I want to end with the president of the Mexican Senate describing what they think is fair and what should happen in America. Here's part of it in English, but I'll be reading out loud. I'll be reading the captions out loud for those who are listening in and who can't read the captions right now. But I'll read this first. We'll build the wall and pay for it, but we'll do it according to the 1830 map of Mexico. Mexicans were settled in these territories before the U.S. The Mexicans living there are in what has always been their homeland. So let's see what he has to say. I'm going to be reading the subtitles over what he's saying. I might pause here and there because I can't read that fast, but let's hear what he's saying. Oh, you're ending? I can wait and watch. Yeah, I'm ending probably in like 5 to 10 minutes. Boop. But thank you. Thank you for still staying. Boop.
Cuando decía el presidente electo Donald Trump estaba 16 días de
Oh my god, why did I do that? I can't. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to make the audio louder. Okay. He is very soft-spoken here. I was in Trump Tower when President-elect Trump said, who was 16 days away from taking office for the first time as president, about to assume the role. And I said, yes, we'll build a wall, we'll pay for it, but we'll do it according to the map of Mexico from 1830. This is what the United States was in 1830, and this was part of Mexico. It wasn't all Mexico. If you can see, maybe a third, at least a quarter of the North American territory was part of Mexico until 1846. We were stripped of these territories. We were settled there before the nation, now known as the United States. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo establishes rights for the people settled in those territories, which were not respected, by the way. The city of Nuevo Laredo was a Mexican city, and the city of Nuevo Laredo was formed by the Mexicans who lived in Laredo and didn't want to stay on the United States side and came over to what is now known national territory. With this geography, how can they talk about liberating Los Angeles and California, the United States government, Liberate them from what? From whom? The Mexican men and women who are settled in that place are settled in what has always been their homeland. Names don't lie. The most spoken language in Los Angeles is Spanish. You don't need to speak English to be in Los Angeles. And here we are in the current situation. This is part of United States, yes. The United States government has the right to implement whatever immigration measures it deems appropriate, certainly. But they have no right to violate the dignity of migrants. They have no right to separate families. They have no right to subject them to suffering, persecution, or harassment. They have no right to break the law that the United States government and the people of the United States set themselves. And that is a very intense and true statement. Because if you think about it, Los Angeles used to be a part of Mexico. And yet, here you are, having all of these ICE raids, kidnapping these families, and treating them like they never, oh my God, wait, give me a second. Like they never deserved to be there in the first place when their ancestors have always lived there. It's fucked up. And that's why we must resist tyranny everywhere, both in Palestine and also in the United States of America. That's why in these protests, you will see the Mexican flag, the Palestinian flag, and all other flags with people from different countries who understand this type of pain of being forced out of your homeland. And to end it, we'll have this cute kitty cat drawn by basil leaf holding the Mexican flag. Okay? And that was TamaTalks. I deeply apologize for not being able to do TamaTalks Tuesdays on Tuesday, which was yesterday at 9 p.m. JST. But we were able to do it today for 2 hours. And I hope that whoever sat here for throughout those 2 hours or whatever time they ended up watching could learn something new and learn not only about the Palestinian pain, but also about my pain, something that I have lived with my entire life. I'm going to end stream now, and I'm going to take an hour break. Well, not really an hour break. I'm going to take a 50-minute break, and I'm going to start stream again at 10 p.m. JST, which is in around an hour. And I'm going to start off by playing Undertale for an hour. After Undertale, I'll play The Binding of Isaac. And then after playing The Binding of Isaac, I will play Unite. Pokemon Unite. Okay? Okay. So I'll see you later. And I won't raid out to anyone during TamaTalks because I don't want to force people in a quote-unquote political situation. But anyway, thank you for listening. I'll see you guys later, alligators. Bye-bye.
「こんな世界のいるはじ」 愛してるから今